Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about a 9mm AR style rifle, and the question is this a good choice for home defense? Is this a good choice for the end of the world apocalypse? Okay, and the answer is no, it's not. You want your standard milspec AR-15. The reason is because it's milspec. Now, milspec doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best rifle in the world, okay? The only thing what it means is that it's standardized. So here's the thing. Every AR-15, every milspec AR-15 out there is going to have parts that are going to fit into this gun. Everybody that works on AR-15 is like, I got a whole box of AR-15 parts, okay? You know, the guy down the road from me, he's got a box of AR-15 parts. The guy going in the other direction, he's got a box full of AR-15 parts. So because this is so standardized, okay, you have a combination of, this is a fairly reliable rifle. There's lots of parts out there in circulation. Doesn't matter if they come from different companies, okay? And there's also lots of know-how. Lots of people know how to fix AR-15s, okay? So great thing about AR-15s is that the patents, the original patents, expired on this. So that's one of my criteria for picking a home defense gun or a shit hit the fan gun. It has to be reliable, easy to use, but it also has to have the patents expired, okay? So that's why I like AR-15s. Also the reason why I like Glocks, okay? I like Glocks Gen 3s, right? Because the patents have expired out there, so I can go on eBay and I can buy lots of parts. And I have a whole box full of Glock Gen 3 parts, okay? I think that the Gen 5 is slightly better engineered, especially with the trigger spring. It's got a compression spring instead of a stretchy spring. However, I don't have a Glock Gen 5. Well, actually, I will as soon as I finish putting my G43 together, because that'll be a Gen 5. But the point is that I actually feel a lot more comfortable with a Glock Gen 3 for SHTF, shit fan. I feel a lot more comfortable with a Glock Gen 3 just because I know that everybody, not everybody, but lots of people out there have boxes full of parts for Glock Gen 3s, okay? So that's a consideration. Now, when we go to these 9mm AR rifles, okay, this one is from Palmetto. There's a Palmetto PX9, really good gun. I've got about 10,000 rounds on this. But here's the thing. I've got the Palmetto. I mean, I've seen a couple of other 9mm rifles that look like this, that first of all, like this one takes Glock mags. I've seen other ones that take different types of mags, okay? So it's not standardized. This one over here, it does not have a last round bolt hold open. I saw one from Stag Arms that did have a last round bolt hold open. Now, interesting thing is I was at a range training somebody on that. That was a really cool feature. First day this guy was shooting it, that's the part that broke, okay? And I took a look at it, right? I looked at the mag catch feature, and it didn't look anything like what I expect in an AR-15. So I looked at it, I'm like, I don't know how to fix this. I don't have parts. You gotta take this back to the gun store. If it was a milspec AR-15, right? I would have looked at it and I would have been able to, I probably could have fixed it for him right there at the range because I happen to have a box full of parts with me, okay? So that's a reason, that's one of the many reasons why you know, even though these AR-9 rifles are great, they're fun to shoot, sometimes they can be cheaper to shoot depending on, you know, what's going on with the ammo prices, but you don't want this as your primary home defense gun. Now, you know, I'm also a big believer in that you should have more than one home defense gun, right? I believe in having multiple home defense guns. So this can be one of them, but your main gun, your go-to gun, should be standard AR-15, okay, milspec, and your backup pistol, because your pistol is basically your backup. Your backup pistol should be Glock Gen 3, okay? But have many other guns, that's fine, but those should be those are your two main guns. Just because they're so standardized, everybody's got parts for them. You know, it's standard magazines, right? AR-15 magazines. for your rifle, Glock, standard Glock mags for your Glock pistol. Now, one of the reasons why I selected, actually the main reason why I selected this Palmetto PX9 is because it takes Glock magazines, okay? So that makes it really easy for training people, and I actually train more people on this gun than I do train on that one, but because they're so similar, right? I got similar scopes on them. You know, all the hardware is the same, right? Exact same scopes, you know, so this is really useful for training people. The way it works out, okay, is, you know, first time gun buyers will call me up, and they'll be, hey, we just bought a gun, you know, we don't know anything about guns. Can you meet us at our gun range and train us, okay? And I'll say, okay, what'd you buy? And they'll be like, okay, we bought some 9mm pistol. That's usually the most common thing that first-time gun buyers will buy. You know, some 9mm pistol. Because if they go to the gun store, they see this. You know, actually not this one. They see this thing or anything that looks like this. This looks scary to them. So they're like, oh, let's start with something smaller because they think that smaller is easier. Okay, that's the misconception that people have. So they call me up. They say, hey, meet us at the gun range so you can train us on our new pistol. What I will do is, I know that they got 9mm ammo, right? So I will take this 9mm AR with me. Okay, get to the gun range. I'll give them, let's say, a safety briefing, right? We'll talk about, you know, figure out what the dominant eye is. We'll talk to them about how to stand. You know, we'll go through a whole bunch of things. But I'll say, before we even shoot your pistol, I want you to shoot this 9mm rifle that shoots the same ammunition, right? So it's convenient because they have 9mm ammo that they paid for, right? So it would be kind of odd if I went there and told them, listen, we're going to shoot this gun over here, which you don't have ammo for. I don't know, I guess if you want, I can sell you some ammo. That sounds really weird, right? Sounds like I'm trying to sell stuff in addition to what they call me. So that's why I go with a 9mm rifle. So I put them on this gun, right? I teach them how to hold a gun, get into a fighting stance, lead it to the gun, right? Nice big optic over here. It's got a circle dot in there, you know. And I'll bring some steel targets with me. And I've got them, like, usually the very first shot they take is a hit, right? So I've got them pinging targets at 30 yards. Ping, 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 ping. Easy. They love the gun, right? They see how easy it is. Okay, great. You know how to shoot this gun. Let's now start working on your pistol. I'll show them how to stand, hold the gun, go out, line up the sights. And now they're trying to hit the targets, and they can't hit anything. Or they're hitting like maybe 10%. If they're good, if they're talented, right, if they have some natural talent, maybe they'll hit 20%. But with this 9mm rifle, right, they were getting like 90, 95% hits. I've even had people get like 100% hits, right? So on average, people are getting like 90% hits with this 9mm rifle, okay? Whereas with the pistol, after I've trained them, you know, they're getting 10 to maybe 20% hits, you know, and in many cases they're not even getting 10% hits. In some cases they're getting like 3% hits. But I have now been able to demonstrate to them why a rifle is a primary home defense gun, and the pistol is a backup gun. Okay, so I use this as a tool to teach people that, and then from that point I'll say, no, you don't want this gun, you want this gun. You need a real AR-15. That shoots, you know, that's milspec, that shoots 223, 5.56. That's the gun you want to have because it's standardized and you know exactly what you're getting, okay? Now, occasionally I'll get people that will be like, hey, you know what? I'm concerned about over-penetration, okay? That's one of the things that will come up. And then what I will do is I will basically go to my channel and I'll send them a link to one of the videos I have where you see these steel barrels over here, right here on this range. I've got 7 of them lined up 15 feet apart, okay? Now these barrels are very thin-skinned, so about a 22 will penetrate both sides of it, okay? But if you line up 7 of them, what happens is the 22 is out of a pistol, right? 22 out of a pistol will penetrate the front, come out the back, but usually when it gets to the second barrel, it'll either not hit it at all, right? It'll leave after it comes out of this barrel, it'll just veer off in some weird direction, okay? Or maybe in some cases it won't even come out. But if it does come out, it'll hit the second barrel and it'll just stop on it. Now, so the point of that is that it's a very thin skinned, okay? A 22 can penetrate both sides of it. So then in this video, I'll show them, okay, here I am shooting the same barrel with a milspec AR-15 223-556. Okay, and what I'll do is, remember, they're 15 feet apart because the space between your barriers counts. Okay, so what happens with the AR-15, it will go through the first one easily, right? When it goes to the second one, it tumbles in. So you got like basically like a keyhole, like a weird. So it keyholes into the second one, which is 15 feet further, and then it will go into the third one. And by the time it gets to the third one, in the video I believe it goes in, but it doesn't come out. And when you look inside the barrel, there's nothing there because the .223 round, which is basically a 55 grain, is small. It breaks up, okay? It tumbles, and then as it goes through each of these barriers, it breaks up. Now, same barrels, right? I shoot it with a 9mm rifle, okay? The 9mm rifle gets to the fourth barrel, so it actually goes one barrel further, right? And not only that, but when I went to the fourth barrel, I was actually able to pull out the 9mm bullet, and it was intact. Right? So because the 9mm is twice as big, right? It's 115 grains versus 55 grains. You know, the 9mm is able to penetrate further, and it basically stays intact. Now, a lot of times people say, "Wait, but you're shooting barrels. Who lives in a house made of barrels?" But it could be layers of sheetrock. Okay, it might be 20 layers of sheetrock. Okay, the 9mm is still going to go to 22 layers of sheetrock. So it doesn't matter what medium you're using to test. The 9mm will go further because it's heavier. The 22 round, right? You know, the 5.56 round, which is basically a 22 with a lot of gunpowder behind it, because it's smaller, lighter, it's going faster, right? It's tearing itself up as it's going through barriers. So on that first barrier, yes, the 5.56 has a lot more power. Like I got those rims down there. 9mm will bounce right off of them, whereas the 5.56 will go right through it. So on that initial barrier, that initial contact, the 5.56 has a lot more power. But once it goes through stuff, okay, it breaks up, it loses its energy a lot faster. I'm going to include this link, a link to that demonstration I did in the description below, in the description section below. You guys should check that out. So that's how I'm able to explain, to prove to people, okay, that a standard AR-15 that shoots 5.56 is the best choice for home defense. It's the easiest to use. You know, I'm able to show them how much easier they're able to hit the targets, and being able to hit the targets is important for two reasons. Number one, you need to stop your bad guys. Number two, you need to make sure your bullets are going where you want them to go. Okay, and then after that, we'll also, you know, we'll talk a little bit about a home defense plan, about putting themselves in a position where the bullets are ending up in a safe place. You know, to give you an example, top of your staircase, you know, shooting down a narrow staircase, you know, a hallway, so that you got all your bad guys bunched up together in the staircase, and your bullets are ending up in your basement. So in that case, we're not even concerned about over penetration, right? We want maximum penetration. We want to be able to go through 6 bad guys in a row if possible, okay? Again, the space between barriers counts. So if you've got your barriers really close together, you're going to get a lot more penetration than if your barriers are further apart. So, you know, usually with the house, you know, the rooms of the house are usually at least, you know, 10, 15 feet apart. So as it hits a wall and it goes from one room to the other, it's tumbling, it's breaking up, you know, and especially if it gets out of the house, it's usually not going to go, after it's gone through a couple of walls, it's usually not going to get more than, you know, 200 feet or so, if it even gets that far, right? Usually it'll just kind of tumble into the ground, but that's, you know, that's a whole other thing. So that's why I tell people 9mm ARs, great for training, great for demonstrations, but you don't want this to be your home defense gun. But it should be a gun that you have. You know, a couple of things, like I was talking before about AR-15s being mil-spec. You know what to expect from them. You know how far the parts will go. You know, with these rifles, these like this one here is from Palmetto. You know, if you get one from a different company, it might be made differently. This one over here, it takes like standard AR-15 trigger groups, but if you get it from a different company, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. You know, some of the parts might be able to interchange, some may not. This one over here, it does not have a last round bolt open, last round bolt hold open. One of the consequences of that is after you fire the last round, right? Because there's nothing to lock, it doesn't lock the bolt open. The top of the bolt shaves across the magazine, on top of the feed lips of the magazine, and it wears them down. So if you fire enough rounds through your magazines, you know, basically you're going to slowly degrade them, and they're going to become unreliable. So that's one of the reasons why I use only these clear mags in my PX9s. Well, actually, these clear ones I will use in both my PX9 and also my Glock. However, I've got these clear blue ones, okay? These only go in my pistols. These blue ones never go in my Palmetto PX9s because I don't want to destroy these. I want to know that I've got some good, reliable magazines that have not been damaged. So you know, that's a good way to use the blue ones. If you have a 9mm rifle that doesn't lock open on the last round, you know, get some different colored magazines or tape them up or something. And, you know, these only go in your handgun. These never go in your rifle, whereas, let's say in my case, these clear ones, these can go in either. I know I use these only for training purposes, okay? Other thing to be aware of with these 9mm rifles, they are extremely rough, okay? In terms of, because it's a straight blowback system, right? You fire, when you press the trigger, bullet comes out the barrel, the bolt comes straight back, okay? There's nothing to cushion it, in a matter of speaking. Because what happens is with the AR rifle, right? With the AR-15, there's a rotating bolt in there. So the way this system works, right? Bullet comes out, gas comes up the tube. There's a plumbing system here that brings the gas back, drops into your bolt. All right, that moves. You know, the bolt starts moving rearward, right? And the bolt rotates, and that rotation basically slows it down a bit. Okay, so with most of the 9mm rifles out there, they don't have anything to slow it down. The only thing slowing down the bolt, okay, is the actual weight of the bolt and the weight of the buffer behind them. Okay, so this one came standard, I think, with a 4-ounce buffer weight. I upgraded it to 12 ounces in an effort to slow it down even more, because what was happening is it was just coming back so hard and fast that it was just from the vibration. I mean, just to give you an example, the hammer pin broke on this like 2 or 3 times. Okay, that's not something that ever happened on any of my AR-15. So that's something that is unique to, let's say, this particular you know, 9mm rifle. And that's why I put stainless steel pins in here to prevent them from breaking. Okay, so that's something that's unique to this, that I'm aware of it because I have fired 10,000 rounds on it, and I have seen where the weak points are. Now, whatever gun you buy, you're probably not going to fire that many rounds, and you're probably never going to get to find out what the weak points are. Like, just to give you an example, I know that this gun eats these magazines, right? It eats the feed lips, the plastic feed lips. Now, if I use like KCIs or factory Glocks that have steel feed lips, they will last longer, okay? But it's still gonna wear them down eventually. So just because I have fired a lot of rounds on this gun, because of what I do, I'm able to figure out where the weak points are. What extra? Holy crap! We got a bear. Hello, Mr. Bear. Where are you? Everybody say hi, Bear. Hi, Boo Boo. That's Boo Boo back there. There you go. There he goes. There's Boo Boo. There he goes. Okay. Okay, he just kind of freaked me out. I just looked over and I said, "Oh shit, bear." Okay. Anyway, so he likes going in my garbage. He was snarling at me the other day. And I did fire a BB at him in very low power in the ass, just to kind of freak him out a little bit, to let him know that, you know, who the boss around here is, right? So I didn't want to hurt him. I just wanted to basically, you know, establish dominance with Boo Boo Bear. But he just got pretty close to me over there, so I may have to put another BB in his ass. But again, I'm very low power, so that it's probably not even it's not breaking the skin. It's just making him jump a little bit. So anyway, so That was interesting. It never happened. I've seen him many times, but he never came around while I was doing a video. It'd be funny if he came up behind me on this side while you guys were watching and I had no idea that he was there. But anyway, that's why you want milspec AR-15s, not 9mm rifles that look like AR-15s, because you've got no idea what you're getting, if you're going to be able to get parts when you need them, how reliable the gun is. You know, you just don't know. Okay, milspec AR-15. I mean, yeah, they're not, you know, they're not like, they're not indestructible. In fact, they're, you know, they definitely, like, the parts definitely have a limited life. But we know, you know, that information's out there. We know what the weak points are of the gun, so we can stockpile the parts that we can get from a lot of different vendors. Okay, so that's the point of this video. No 9mm rifles as your primary gun. Standard AR-15s, but these are great training tools. That's why I have them. You know, and yeah, you should have them too, but after you get your milspec AR-15. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon.